UN Climate Summit opens in United Arab Emirates. The UN Climate Summit in the United Arab Emirates opened with a historic agreement to help poor and vulnerable countries pay the cost of losses and damages caused by extreme weather. "I congratulate parties for this historic decision," said UAR Sultan Al-Jaber, who presides over the summit after it formally launched the Loss and Damage Fund on its first day of work. "This sends a positive signal of momentum to the world and to our work." The summit, from November 30th to December 12th, is hosted this year by the United Arab Emirates, the world's fifth largest oil producer. Government representatives, many of them heads of state and government, from some 200 countries are taking part in the annual conference at the Expo City Dubai. Thousands of business leaders, climate activists, scientists and civil society organizations are also attending. The summit is expected to draft a plan to speed up the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources among a host of climate issues. The UN expects three significant results, the first one known as global stocktake, which will be the first assessment of whether countries have carried out climate action to limit the rise in temperatures to 1.5 degrees. The second is a final agreement on the Loss and Damage Fund that pays for climate-related damages suffered by poor and vulnerable countries. And the third one is whether the summit would agree to replace fossil fuels with clean energy such as wind and solar power. The United Nations said it has a roadmap to limit the rise in global temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and it urges leaders attending the opening of the climate summit in Dubai to fire the starting gun on the race to keep that limit alive. UN Secretary-General Antonio asked the summit to set clear expectations for the next climate action plans, to commit to the partnerships and finance to make them possible, and to triple renewables and double energy efficiency. He also asked the attendees to
and committing to phase out fossil fuels with a clear time frame aligned to the 1.5 degree limit. We must also go further and faster in protecting people from climate chaos. Every person on Earth must be protected by an early warning system by 2027, by putting in place the action plan we launched last year. And every vulnerable developing country should have the support they need to develop and implement adaptation investment plans by 2025. Leaders must get the Loss and Damage Fund off to a flying start with generous early contributions. Developed countries must honor the promise to deliver $100 billion a year in climate finance, and they must present a clear plan showing how they will make good on their commitment to double adaptation finance by 2025 as a first step to ensure at least half of all climate finance goes to adaptation. Today's report shows we are in deep trouble. Leaders must get us out of it, starting at COP28, and I thank you.
Guterres said. Guterres, who visited Antarctica in early November to see for himself how fast ice is melting, said both Antarctica and Greenland are melting well over 3 times faster than they were in the early 1990s as the Southern Ocean is slowly heating up.
We need a global commitment to triple renewables, double energy efficiency, and bring clean power to all by 2030.
Guterres told reporters at UN headquarters in New York.
We need a clear and credible commitment to phase out fossil fuels on a time frame that aligns with the 1.5 degree limit. And we need climate justice, setting the world up for a huge increase in investment in adaptation and loss and damage to protect people from climate extreme.
Antarctica is crying out for action.
It is profoundly shocking to stand on the ice of Antarctica and hear directly from scientists how fast the ice is disappearing.